Today's anime is about a socially broken assassin who can kill people with poison, but gets defeated by basic human interaction. Yeah, this man can survive deadly toxins, fight superpowered psychopaths, and throw hands with murder specialists. But talking to a woman? Absolutely impossible. Welcome to Marriage Toxin, where the fights are deadly, the romance is cursed, and everybody needs therapy. Grab your snacks, lock your doors, and prepare for a story filled with assassins, family trauma, weird superpowers, and one of the strangest wingmen in anime history. Because trust me, this mission is way harder than killing people. This mission is getting married. Part 1. The Poison Loser. We begin with our main character, Hikaru Gero, a deadly assassin from the legendary Poison Clan. This guy has spent his entire life learning how to murder people. Relationships? No. Friends? Barely. Social skills? Negative numbers. Imagine taking Batman, removing the money, removing the charisma, removing the emotional stability, and replacing all of it with poison. That's Gero. For centuries, his clan has been producing elite assassins feared throughout the underworld. But one day his family drops the worst mission imaginable. Not assassination, not espionage, not warfare, marriage. The clan demands that Gero marry and produce an heir. If he refuses, his younger sister will be forced to carry the burden instead. Gero immediately realizes this is a disaster and decides to protect her no matter what. Congratulations. Our murder machine has now entered the most dangerous battlefield in existence, the dating market. Savage. Part 2. The Weapon of Mass Distraction. While handling an assignment, Gero encounters a notorious marriage scammer named Mei Kinosaki. This beautiful mastermind has conned countless victims using charm alone. Men fall for him, women fall for him, viewers fall for him, the laws of physics fall for him. Meanwhile, Gero has the romantic appeal of expired yogurt. Naturally, after meeting this person, Gero does something completely normal. He proposes marriage, immediately. Bro skipped every tutorial level, no introductions, no dating, no small talk, straight to marriage. And shockingly, it doesn't work. Who could have predicted that? Kinosaki rejects him, but instead offers something far more valuable. Dating lessons. Because apparently the assassin needs a full software update before interacting with civilization. For Part 3. The worst romance training ever. Now begins the real story. Kinosaki becomes Gero's dating coach. And ladies and gentlemen, this is like teaching a brick how to flirt. Every lesson turns into a disaster. Every conversation becomes awkward. Every attempt at romance looks like a hostage negotiation. Gero studies dating the same way he studies assassination, with terrifying seriousness. Kinosaki tells him to smile. The result? A facial expression that looks like somebody just threatened a puppy. Kinosaki tells him to relax. Gero somehow becomes even more intimidating. At this point, viewers are wondering whether the Poison Clan secretly poisoned his social development. Honestly, probably. Part 4. Welcome to the Circus of Superpowers. Just when you think this is a romantic comedy, the series reminds you that everybody here is insane. This world contains assassin clans, bizarre specialists, strange abilities, and enough weird powers to make a battle shonen editor cry with happiness. Every arc introduces another dangerous lunatic. One person fights using bizarre techniques. Another possesses ridiculous mastery over their specialty. Another looks like they escaped from a rejected supervillain convention. The power system feels like somebody threw logic out a window and said, sure, why not? And somehow, it works. Because beneath all the chaos, every battle pushes Gero closer to understanding people. Something he desperately needs. Since right now he has the emotional intelligence of a toaster. The Part 5. Family Trauma Speedrun. Now let's talk about why this story gets surprisingly dark. Underneath the comedy is a brutal reality. Gero's entire life has been controlled by family expectations. His clan sees people as tools. Bloodlines matter more than happiness. Tradition matters more than freedom. And his sister is trapped inside that same nightmare. Every mission becomes more personal. Every victory becomes more meaningful. Because Gero isn't chasing love for himself anymore. He's fighting to save someone he cares about. And suddenly our socially defective poison gremlin becomes a genuinely compelling protagonist. Who would have thought? Character development. What a concept. Part 6. Every girl is a boss battle. As the story continues, Gero meets multiple potential marriage candidates. And because this is anime, none of them are normal. Of course not. That would be illegal. Every new girl comes with her own complications, secrets, and emotional baggage. Some are dangerous, some are eccentric. Some could probably bench press a truck, and Gero has to navigate all of it while pretending he understands romance. Spoiler, he doesn't. Watching him date is like watching a tiger attempt customer service. Technically possible, emotionally horrifying. Part 7. The fights get serious. Then the story cranks everything up. Enemies emerge. Secrets surface. The danger escalates. And suddenly Gero finds himself fighting people who can actually threaten him. The action scenes become intense. Poison techniques. Close combat battles. Life or death confrontations. The stakes are real. People get hurt. Trust gets tested. Betrayals lurk around every corner. The cheerful matchmaking adventure slowly transforms into something much darker. Because every organization in this world has skeletons hidden in the basement. Some have entire graveyards, and Gero keeps uncovering them one nightmare at a time. Part 8. The real problem. Here's the funny part. After all the fighting, after all the training, after all the growth, the biggest obstacle still isn't the villains. It's Gero himself, because the guy has spent his entire life suppressing emotions. He knows how to fight, he knows how to survive, but he doesn't know how to live, and that's where the story hits surprisingly hard. The real battle isn't finding a wife. The real battle is learning what he actually wants. Heavy stuff. Meanwhile, Kinosaki is still carrying this entire operation harder than a final boss carrying random teammates. Absolute legend. Part 9. The emotional damage arc. As relationships deepen, emotional wounds begin surfacing. Characters reveal painful histories. Past trauma comes crashing back. The mask starts slipping. And suddenly viewers who arrive for goofy romance and assassin nonsense are getting emotional. Rude, very rude. The story constantly asks whether people can escape the roles forced onto them, whether bloodlines should determine your future, whether tradition deserves obedience, or whether happiness is worth fighting for. Meanwhile, Gero is standing there trying to process emotions for the first time. The poor guy looks like Windows attempting to install empathy. To Part 10. The cliffhanger. By this point, alliances have formed. Enemies are moving. Secrets remain hidden. And Gero's future is still uncertain. Can he save his sister? Can he break free from his clan? Can he survive the insanity surrounding him? And perhaps the greatest mystery of all, can this poison-powered disaster actually find love? The answer remains buried beneath layers of conflict, danger, and emotional chaos. And trust me, the road ahead only gets crazier. Ending narration. Music slows. And that's the story of MarriageToxin so far. A series that somehow combines assassins, romance, family trauma, absurd superpowers, and one of the weirdest matchmaking plots ever created. On paper, it sounds ridiculous. In execution, it's surprisingly awesome. You've got deadly battles, emotional character growth, chaotic comedy, and enough awkward romantic moments to physically damage your soul. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we continue watching emotionally unstable anime characters make terrible life decisions. Until then, remember, if an assassin asks you to marry them 5 minutes after meeting you, maybe don't say yes.